Yes, I do appreciate.
The gentleman yields. The gentleman from California, Mr. Garcia, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses that are here. I just want to also be clear. I think we have not heard real solutions along our border. I don't believe that our colleagues on the other side of the aisle have proposed real solutions. What we've had, and what I've heard over the last few months, are some really out there and crazy ideas. We've heard everything from invading northern Mexico to the assertion that we should be sending missiles into Mexico. A member suggested we should maybe build an alligator moat to protect the border along the Mexican border. And of course, Donald Trump famously said that maybe we should even be shooting migrants in the legs to stop them from coming over the border. So these are actually all ideas that have been brought forward to address our border crisis, all of which are incredibly inhumane. But today I want to address some horrific news that is coming out of Texas. And this has been reported by the Houston Chronicle about the governor. Now, the governor's border security initiative, according to the Houston Chronicle, has ordered state troopers in the Department of Public Safety to push small children and nursing babies back into the Rio Grande River. And they've been told not to give them water to these asylum seekers, even in extreme heat. So I want to submit this article for the record. This actually just came out. I know it's getting a lot of attention. And if I can please submit this article into the record.
Without objection.
So state troopers on this detail have raised concerns that the policies were over the line and inhumane. And these are accounts from the state troopers in Texas. The individual reports themselves are horrific. A pregnant woman having a miscarriage was found late last month, caught in a wire, doubled over in pain. A 4-year-old girl passed out from heat exhaustion after she tried to go through it and was pushed back by the Texas National Guard soldiers. A trooper suggested that Texas had set, quote, traps of razor wire wrapped barrels in parts of the river with high water and low visibility. And a trap, as we know, isn't something that deters migrants. It's something designed to hurt animals. I want to quote from this article directly, and I quote, "The trooper's email sheds new light on a series of previously reported drownings in the river during a 1-week stretch earlier this month, including a mother and at least one for 2 children, who federal Border Patrol agents spotted struggling to cross the Rio Grande on July 1st. It continues, according to the email, a state police boat found the mother and one of the children, who went under the water for a minute. They were pulled from the river and given medical care before being transferred to EMS, but were later declared dead at the hospital. The second child was never found," the email said. Never found. Now, this is sickening, it's un-American, and Governor Abbott's stunts have consequences. On another shift, medics said they found about 120 people camping out, including nursing babies and other young children, exhausted, hungry, and tired after a day when the temperature reached 108 degrees. Now, the medics were ordered to push these people back into the river. The medics said that this was, quote, not the correct thing to do, end quote, and that could have led to a risk of drowning or great injury. They were told to leave the area. Now, these aren't reports, by the way, from activists or human rights groups, which could just be ignored by some. These are actually quotes and statements from frontline law enforcement officials that are working there along the border. Another frontline law enforcement official said, and I quote, "I believe we have stepped over a line into the inhumane. We need to operate correctly in the eyes of God," end quote. Now, the United States, as far as I'm concerned, should not be leaving babies to die in the desert or forcing pregnant women back into rivers. We don't order our law enforcement officials to leave people to drown or die. We all want a secure and orderly border, but Governor Abbott's brutal orders aren't accomplishing that, and that needs to be brought up today in this hearing. This conduct is disgusting, and this issue surrounding this incident should be brought forward into this committee to answer questions. That governor needs to be held accountable.